back with another one. This is Snowfall, Season 6, Episode 6, Concrete Jungle. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, okay? Look, so let's jump right into it. Teddy ass is scrambling, okay? Teddy is fucking scrambling. He's trying to fucking cover all his fucking bases. He called his baby mother. He let her know, like, listen, you need to get out of town. My father just got murdered. It would be safe if you and Paul go ahead and get out of town. Now, if you remember, Franklin called him and told him, like, if you don't send me my money, I'm gonna kill you and that little kid of yours, Paul, you feel me? So now Teddy is, like I said, Teddy scrambling. And the CIA thinking, like, maybe we should shut this whole shit down because, you know, you just don't seem to be in the right headspace to do the job. He telling Teddy, like, listen, I know how it is to lose a relationship with a complicated parent, this, that, and the third. And Teddy like, listen, our relationship wasn't complicated, it was non-existent. Teddy, stop trying to pump fake like you didn't care about your father, because if you didn't care, you wouldn't have been in such shock when Franklin offed him. When Franklin called you and put him on a, when you put him on the line, dying, you seemed pretty, like you cared then. So don't sit there and try to act like you don't. Why? That CIA dude don't mean shit to you, so you putting on the front for him is what? Pointless. Pointless. He knows you're scared. He knows you're fucking terrified. Okay, Teddy? You didn't think you could get got, and he got you. Now you're gonna have to go after him, so it doesn't matter, like, how you feel about any of it. Well, of course, we at the landing strip, and you got Veronique Franklin and her mother. And her mother then devised the whole plan for Veronique and her to run off without Franklin. Telling her they can raise the baby together. She got fake passports for them. Your man is becoming unhinged, so what makes you think that he won't leave you high and dry, this, that, and the third? Veronique straight told her, listen, I'm not going nowhere. She said, this is the only person that ever put me first. He is literally doing everything in his power to give me the lifestyle that he promised me. And I'm not leaving him. So Franklin rolled up and he like, yeah, what's this? You feel me? And, you know, Veronique mother like, listen, we leaving. And I'm just like, how do you think you have any type of say when if it wasn't for Franklin, that girl would have never called you? Ever. Ever. Like, she would have never called you. She had absolutely no rap for you. So for you to think that you're going to be able to come in, steal her from the nigga that she fucking with, the nigga that she planned on building a whole entire life with, and you think you're going to be able to take her away when your relationship is completely strained? No. I feel like she'd rather break those generational curses and then just raise her baby the way she wants. Honestly, I don't think she want to be that much more involved with you moms. And plus, here's the thing. Now that Franklin then did that, he done killed Teddy's father, whatever fucking secret plan they had in place with the mother and all of that shit, null and void. She might as well go way back home, because they not going to need her in the same capacity that they needed her prior to him killing Teddy's father. So, all right, mama, see you later. She need to go anyway, because like I said, I don't trust that she was going to end up double-crossing Frank in the long run, so get her out of here. Now, mind you, when Jerome left last week, you feel me, he was out, he was busted. He was pretty much busted down to the ground, drunk, you understand? So he comes back to the crib, crashing into all the motherfucking pottery and plants and shit. So Louis and the security go running out, and they like, Jerome, what's wrong with you? Bitch, he drunk, okay? He drunk because you got him doing too much. You got him doing too much. He feel a way about this whole shit. He tired. He's tired. He's saying the money ain't worth it. He's saying, I'm tired of sitting up here fucking catching bodies. I'm tired of sitting up here watching my fucking back. I'm tired of fucking trying to kill my own family. I said, ooh. I said, you got a point. So he basically spends the entire scene trying to convince Louis to get out the game. And Louis basically like, why would I do that? They still don't respect me. So at the end of the day, I gotta earn my respect. He like, what are you talking about? He like, is the money not enough? You feel me? He like, I stayed for you. Why can't you leave for me? And I said, damn, he got a point. Because Jerome never really wanted to get too deep into this shit the way that they into it right now. Like, they was okay with the little bit of money they was making, you know, the little bit of clout, this, that, and the third. No, Louis wants to be like that bitch. And it's so crazy because she deals with so much internal issue about it, because she sat there and she told Jerome, she said, even when they meet with me, they act like I'm not there. They treat me as eye candy, and they still just talk to you, even though I'm clearly running the shit. I said, see, that's your problem. That's your problem. You want to be acknowledged as the boss when nobody gives a fuck for real. They don't. They really don't. So Jerome is sitting there basically in fucking tears asking this bitch to stop doing what she doing. And she between her blaming it on Franklin and feeling like she owed Teddy is just the craziest excuse on why she won't get out. It's just wild to me. And I'm just thinking like, Louis, you didn't even have to become the plug. You chose to double cross Franklin, go behind his back to Teddy, start this whole shit, but it's Franklin's fault. But everything Franklin's fault. It don't, to me, it just don't make sense because it's like, at what point do you take some accountability? Like, at what point do you take accountability? You unhinged Jerome when you told Jerome that Franklin pulled a gun on you. A situation that you knew Jerome wasn't going to be able to deal with in the best type of manner. So you telling Jerome that knew shit was going to fly off the handle. But okay. So he ended up leaving back out because he just like, bitch, I'm leaving. I'm going to fucking Jamaica or some shit he said he running off to. He wants her to go. And like I said, Louis is just not content. And she sounds just like Franklin when Franklin was trying to get out talking about, I just got to get my money out of Panama, this, that, and the third. And I still owe these people. And he like, who? Teddy? He like, what the fuck you scared of Teddy? I said, see. Louis, you stuck. You stuck just as bad as Franklin is stuck. Was stuck. So it's like, what? Like, was it really worth it? And that's what Jerome is saying. I don't blame Jerome. Get the fuck away from it. It's a damn shame it took for, like, him killing a bitch with his bare hands, slapping Franklin up in a public place, them almost killing Franklin by accident for him to realize that this shit is just not it. It's not. And the only person that's going to end up looking, like, who's the real winner? Who's the real winner in all this? First and foremost, if y'all all just put y'all fucking pride to the side and realize y'all family, y'all will be a much better crew. So they back in LA and they in the projects and they have a meetup. So it's basically Wanda, Leon, Sissy, Veronique, and Franklin. Now Franklin is trying to get everybody to safety. So he tell his mother like, listen, man, you need to get out of town, go find somewhere for you to stay, this, step and the third. Now, Leon and Wanda giving very much, nigga, we ain't going nowhere. If this nigga want to run to the projects and fuck with us, he can try his luck. So at that point, Sissy like, well, fuck it, I might as well stay in the projects too. So Leon like, oh yeah, I take care of Sissy. So I'm like, so basically, everybody just gonna be out there in the open for Teddy to get. No, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Sissy, it's about time you start listening. Franklin told her ass, no, don't go home. You can't go to the fucking shelter. And of course, Wanda ass feel crazy because she be working at the shelter too. So now she gonna slip back into a depression because she ain't got shit to do. And now she feel like she on the fucking run. And Leon got her back in the drug game. So it's just like, yo, what the fuck? I'm just like, all right, Leon gonna make sure she good. But it's just like, Sissy, come on. Like, if Teddy ain't proved nothing to you, is that he a cold-blooded killer and that you shouldn't play games with him. Like, you really shouldn't. Like, he disappeared Alton. We still don't even know what happened to Alton. We still don't know. And you think that this is the nigga that you should be playing with. Okay. All right, Sissy. She ain't gonna be glad till she end up dead too, honestly. So, we'll see. And the next thing, you got Teddy running down on Ruben. And my thing with this whole situation with Ruben and Teddy is, y'all basically both looking into each other. Y'all are basically both spying on each other at this point. Ruben want to know if you selling drugs to finance a war, and you want to know why the fuck Ruben following you. So them two meet up, and to me, Teddy going to that bitch cocky as shit. I'm talking about unarmed, cocky to the motherfucker. He go in there, he basically talk his shit to this man, and he basically tell him like, how about this? How about I help you, you help me? But at the end of the day, if I realize that you're still following me and I have to come back, nigga, I'm going to kill you. And I'm thinking to myself, well, Teddy, that's cold because he could have killed you plenty of times. Now, but the thing is, Ruben hell bent on proving that he working with the CIA to finance this war. Ruben not about to let up. So Teddy can talk, this, that, and the third, all he want. Now, when he left, he told him he had either two options. He said, he pack your shit and be gone, or you can be here when I get back and we can discuss business. But he said, if I come back and the answer not what I want, like I said, Teddy, like, nigga, I'm going to kill you. So, but what I like about that scene is, like I said, even though Teddy is going through like the utmost pain right now, he still got to put on his poker face, because he got to be able to still talk his shit and still try to get as much done as possible without looking weak. And it is what it is. It really is what it is. So Teddy, kudos to you for working through the whole shit. That's all I can say. But Ruben, probably not the one for you to fuck with. If you know for a fact that he is a secret spy that rolls alone, what makes you think that you stand a chance against this man? I mean, granted, you roll alone too, but it's like, can you imagine the face-off with these two? Seriously, imagine it. Jerome comes back to the house after, of course, his drunken fit of rage from the night before. And now, in this scene, I don't know if this is Louis calling herself, fucking humbling herself and apologizing for being a bitch. But it started out like that, but then it very much turned to some cocky ass shit. So at the end of the day, like, she's still not taking no accountability, and she's still asking Jerome to believe that this whole shit is Franklin's fault. And like I said, she's so worried about how the people that cop from them perceive her. Why do it matter? Why do it matter? You get their bread, right? They pay you, right? It don't matter who they think in charge. You know what it is. Like, Jerome know what it is. Jerome know he ain't the mastermind behind this shit. If anything, he's a fucking muscle. So it's like, for you to sit here and use that as your reasoning to keep going, and then to keep going as hard at Franklin as you going, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And like I said, Jerome has said he's not fucking scared of Teddy. She can keep sitting up there acting like she fucking scared of Teddy if she want. He ain't fucking scared. Hey, say what you want, Jerome. Now, in the next scene, even though what's his name called his baby mother to warn her to leave town because he don't want her and the kid killed, he ends up back at his girlfriend's spot, Teddy. He's in fucking, like I said, he's trying to play it cool, but that nigga know he's fucked up in the game. I'm sorry, this man killed your father over the phone and made you listen to it. You fucked up, bro. So he's basically telling the girlfriend, like, listen, you need to get out of town. Everybody's trying to get all their people out of town because they know the war about to go insane. If you think that these next couple of episodes ain't about to be the wildest shit we've seen in Snowfall history, you're crazy. It has to be. You got the DEA, the KGB, the CIA, and then you got Teddy versus Franklin. And then you got Jerome and Louis versus Franklin. What, this shit about to go nuts. Okay? So, one thing I can say about this little girlfriend, she ride or die. She don't see no point in uprooting her whole entire life. She like, if the KGB want her or whoever, they gonna be able to find her. So she basically want to rock out with him. And I'm just like, babe, your life must be super unadventurous, because this is not, who signs up to fuck around with the shit that Teddy got going on? Well, he's clearly giving you a fucking out. Like, what? No. So, in the next scene, you got Gustavo and Franklin meeting up, and, you know, he tell Franklin, like, look, you a hard man to reach. He said, look, I've been out the country handling some business. Not out the country, out the state handling some business. So he ended up telling him, like, look, I'm sure it's, and that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking, like, damn, Gustavo still fucking spinning, because he's still working with Teddy. He still got the DEA down. He might have been able to shake the KGB, but it's like, bro, you're still doing too much. So Gustavo come to him and ask him for fucking $10 million. Nigga, you know why we're here. You know why we doing everything that we doing. What the fuck makes you think he got $10 million? We're here for a reason. to get this $73 million back from Teddy, and you gonna up and ask the nigga for $10 million so you can uproot your family. Somehow Franklin talk him down to $1 million, and he like, okay, cool, I'll take the $1 million. He said, but at the end of the day, you need to promise me that after you get your money back, you basically kill this nigga Teddy. So Franklin told him, he said, boy, that's the easiest promise I ever had to make anybody. Because I'm definitely going to kill him. Like, you do not even have to worry about that. I'm definitely going to kill him. So tell him, like, listen, I need new passports and IDs for me and my whole entire family. So Franklin give him a number. He tell the dude, like, look, he tell Gustavo, like, call this number, let him know this is what you need, and that I'm paying for it. I said, all right, good. He gonna look out for you. But I don't understand why Gustavo thought that asking him to kill Teddy was gonna be so far-fetched. What? It's no way you leave Teddy alive at the end of the show. It's no way. So the next thing, you got the niggas sitting outside, the Kane niggas just sitting outside the stables. Because of course, thanks to Franklin's info, they know exactly where the fuck she be. So now they just waiting. They just waiting it out. Now, what I noticed in this episode is we got these two henchmen, and one of the henchmen just seemed to have a tad bit more sense than the other one. And I grow to appreciate it the further the episode goes. I go to appreciate his sense of awareness and consciousness. It's way better than the other dude. Like, so, of course, finally, like they expected, like they was told, Louis ass shows up at the horse track. And I'm just like, y'all in the middle of a fucking war. You that fucking confident in yourself? You that cocky that you feel like you should still be out in public riding fucking horses and shit? That's your gotcha. That's where you at with it? Louis, it's not safe. And then you only got 2 fucking hitmen. How is that enough? You got 2 bodyguards. How is that enough? So she ends up giving up her piece to one of her security guards, you know, so that she can ride or whatever. And I'm like, I'm sure I understand that you wouldn't want the gun to go off while you know, the horse galloping and shit like that. You wouldn't want it to go off. But at the end of the day, man, you got people after you. You have people real live after you. And you think like, oh no, I'm not going to carry my piece. I'm just going to get up here butt naked, basically. You're going to get up there butt naked, basically. No weapon, no nothing. But okay. So, and then she tells the fucking security to fall back. And I'm just like, oh. I said, oh, use a bold one. I said, oh, use a bold one, because that ain't smart either. And at the end of the day, the man who ran the place, I feel like he sold you out. Because he walking around looking all suspicious and shit. I could have swore they said that they talked to the den master at the stable. Or whatever, the stable head or whatever. So he done already told them that you frequent this place. And then the fact that fucking Kane wants you alive, baby, that should be key, okay? That shit not gonna go well. So, of course, she riding. She end up hearing a gunshot. Pow, pow. So they end up taking out the 2 henchmen. Boom. She up there by herself. The horse, of course, gets scared, throws her off. She's on the ground. She reaching for her gun. You don't have a gun. You don't have a gun, Louis. Because you remember, you gave your big ass 380 or whatever the fuck that was to the motherfucking security guard. Remember? You don't have a gun. So, of course, she gets snatched up by by Kane's 2 henchmen. So now what? Now what? She got that big stupid ass horse riding hat on, and she's just looking dumb. But she was worried about Jerome being outside on his own. But you the one that just got caught slipping because you want to keep up a routine. Really? A routine that people know about. Okay. You've been riding horses for seasons now. I'm talking about at least 2 seasons, 3 seasons. Why the fuck would you think Franklin wouldn't have remembered about the horse riding? Why? Yeah, exactly. Next thing, you got Franklin and Veronique basically bagging up everything at the stash house, you know, for the drop or whatever. And, you know, Franklin is being vague with her. And at this point, he might as well not even be vague with the bitch because she know everything else. She in on everything else. But it's just like, y'all, as writers, don't try to make us like this girl. Because we, like I keep saying, we don't even remember where the fuck she came from. He had a whole nother girlfriend at the end of season 4. Hold on. So my whole thing with it is just like, stop trying to, as like showrunners, you're trying to make us forget how random she was and the fact that none of us liked her in the beginning. But she's grown as a character, whatever. But it's sad that it took to the last season, the last couple episodes, for them to make her relatable and likable. But whatever. Franklin ends up telling her like exactly where the car gonna be at and what type of car it's gonna be at the drop, just in case something happened. And I'm just like, that was probably smart because, you know, or it could be bad because she could sabotage the whole shit. But who the fuck knows? We just gonna just wish for the best when it comes to Brandy. I'm still on the fence that she's somewhat just like her mother, so it's just like, But again, we gonna roll with it. We'll see. Now, Kane calls this nigga Franklin. And he tells him like, oh yeah, I got something you might want to see. Woo, 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 woo. Here go the address, this, that, and the third. Slide through. He basically tries to tell him that he's busy. He like, nah, there's something you gonna want to see. I'm like, oh shit, right? So they cut to the warehouse where Kane at. They cut the Kane on the phone and they show him. And they got this bitch Louis tied up in a motherfucking warehouse, stealing her riding boots and everything. Damn. And the crazy thing is, initially, all Kane is asking about is who shot him. And we know that was Buckley. And I'm just like, Buckley's a fucking dope fiend. He a dope fiend ass ex-cop. Give him up. Give him up. But again, she made a very valid point. She said to Kane, she said, what the fuck makes me think that after I tell you about Buckley that you're going to let me out of here? I said, well, I said, damn, she ain't dumb. She ain't dumb. So, and Kane is basically pressing it. He's just saying like, she owe him this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, she probably do. Like, but, and then he get the kick in her stomach. I'm just thinking like, damn, I didn't think they would even show no shit like this on TV. So he gets the kick in her stomach and she throw up. And I'm just like, Kane, don't touch that lady throw up. Like, and he basically like, touch that lady throw up. So don't do that. Don't do that. That's nasty. So he ends up telling her like, look, I got a lot of homies that just got out for real. Since you want to keep acting tough, you just stay, please, Louis. Like I said, I don't think snitching on Buckley or giving Buckley up will get it done. Bitch, but you need a plan. You need a plan. So Franklin finally shows up, and I'm thinking to myself, if I'm Franklin, I'm not giving up no gun. So as soon as he get there, the dude stopped him at the gate and he straight tell him like, nigga, I got a gun and I'm not giving it up. Kane called me down here, either let me in or don't. And I said, very good, Frank, because why the fuck would you walk into that shit without a gun? Why? I'm not. We're looking like fucking B. Mickey in that club scene on BMF. No gun. He still made it out alive. I'm sure Franklin will too. But it's just like, what? Yeah, I'm definitely keeping my gun, man. So, you know, he go in and you can hear like the screaming from like outside of where they at to the part of the warehouse where Louis and them is at. And I'm just thinking like, damn. So Franklin ends up walking in. He's like, sees Louis tied up to this chair, beating and shit. And Kane go into a whole spiel about how his family was farmers, this, that, and the third. And the whole time I see the dude in the background striking like a motherfucking brand, right? And I'm thinking like, this nigga not gonna brand her, is he? He not gonna brand this lady. Like, he not about to do that. And sure enough, he ends up branding that lady. And let me tell you something. Louis a tough cookie because she ain't giving it up. She basically like, nigga, you might as well kill me. You gonna have to kill me. Franklin asks, can he have her room? He basically tell her give up Buckley. She proceeds to tell him that it's his fault that she there. How? How? Nobody told you to utilize Buckley to fucking go after Kane. All Franklin did was tell you where he was. He didn't tell you where he was and tell you to use Buckley or tell you to do anything. And that's what I hate about this whole situation. Like, it works so much better if they would just fucking chill. At this point, they could kill all the people that's giving them problems if they just chill and get it together. Because you're gonna need Kane dead. You cannot leave him alive. What the fuck for? He's a fucking psycho. He branded this lady with a K on her chest. I said K for Key, K for Kane. Like, she's nuts. Like he's a full-blown psycho. She's eating that shit. Frank, let me tell you something. Franklin is standing there and he's trying to give, like, it's not crazy, but it is crazy to him too. Now, Franklin tell him, bitch, it's better to give up Buckley than to endure what these motherfucking jailhouse niggas is about to do to you. Like, he ain't lying, Louis. Again, I don't know if it's gonna get you out the room, but at least might get you up out that fucking train they about to try to run on you. So, of course, even in the midst of them, that's how I know, that's what I've been saying about this whole shit, is that if any of them actually wanted to kill each other, they could have very well killed each other already. All of this is basically just a pissing match between them, for real. So Franklin does the right thing. He does the right thing. So he's riding around and he's fucking blowing up Jerome's fucking page. And Jerome is getting the pages and he probably thinking to himself, like, why the fuck would I take this page? It's fucking Franklin hitting me 911 first moves. Why the fuck is Franklin paging me? So Franklin just keep paging him. Now I'm thinking to myself, at some point, Jerome, you gotta, like, now Jerome agreed to do a drop for Louis, so he's in the middle of the drop for Louis with Scully. And I'm just like, Jerome, take this fucking page. So eventually Franklin ends up calling Leon and he like, listen, Leon, page Jerome, tell Jerome to call me. He like, I don't feel like I can get him to call you back, you know, like, or let alone take your page or whatever. He like, listen, I'm sure you can, so I'm gonna tell you exactly how and why. So he tells him, I'm assuming he tell him what's going on with Louis, and then he translates that message to Jerome, and then you see Jerome on this fucking fat ass burger phone at Scully house, and he like, you know, nigga, I'm gonna bring down motherfucking the terror. So of course he fitting to cut up because he know, like, this nigga got his bitch. So now the funniest part is when he show up to the address that Franklin gave him or whatever, he pull up and he like, bitch nigga. And I'm just thinking, like, your problem is you think that this is Franklin's doing. It's not. Kane is a loose handle. Like, you can't trust him. You can't think that Franklin could have stopped this. Franklin been looking at Kane crazy when he wouldn't let it go the first time. He wanted him to let it go the first time after he got out the hospital. He wouldn't let it go. Jerome calls Buckley, and just like I said, Buckley's a fucking dope fiend. So he's hitting the fucking rock, and he passes out. And I'm like, there you go. No fucking help, and y'all fucking holding on to this nigga like he the fucking holy grail. I would give him up. Give him the fuck up. So he gets to the warehouse, like I said, he calls Franklin a bitch nigga, this, that, and the third. And I'm just thinking to myself, bro, he could have not fucking called, and then you could have just as easily found your wife down on a corner somewhere, raped all up, like, excuse me, R-word all up, like, so you about to sit there and try to make it seem like it's Franklin's fault. See, what is wrong with y'all two? None of y'all take no accountability. Ain't nobody taking no type of accountability for the fact that your wife went behind Franklin's back and stole the connect when instead of just copping from Franklin, which would have kept everybody just happy. But no, you felt like you didn't want to keep bowing to him or this, that, and the third. So your pride got in the way. That got in the way of that. And then, like, Jerome, let's not act like you didn't kind of sort of somewhat like all right, like y'all went back and forth, but you drew the first set of personal blood, like when you beat the girl. So it's just like, what did you think? And then y'all knew as long as Kane was still alive and Buckley didn't finish that job, that he was gonna be back after y'all regardless. Where's y'all accountability? But y'all want to keep blaming everything on Frank. So Kane ends up bringing in this motherfucking swole ass Cat Williams looking nigga, and I'm just thinking to myself, oh, that's different. So he come in, he throwing around big words, loquacious, this, that, and the third, talking to Louis, and you know, she popping her shit, and I'm just like, Louis, you are in no position to talk your shit. Like, what? Like, what? So he's not taking her shit, and he like, bitch, yeah, okay, take the motherfucking clothes off, or I'm gonna take them off for you, this, that, and the third. So she ends up calling him out. She like, at what age did your mama and them have you out there and started turning tricks? She basically tell this nigga like, boy, you probably was sucking more dick than the ones down there on the corner, this, that, and the third. So you can see it's a trigger for him, you know, telling him that, you know, his mother turned him out and had him, you know, turning tricks and shit. And but he played it cool. He was like, bitch, you gotta come a little harder than that. So, you feel me? So he jumps up and he gets the pulling on our shit and then and the third. And mind you, Kane had left the room because Kane, and it's just like everybody is there for that. Why is it like a whole party full of niggas just there to smash one, to rape one girl? This is sad, you know. This is sad. And like I said, thank God for the one, you know, the one dude with some sense, with the one bodyguard nigga with some sense. Because, you know, when shit started popping off, because by the time Franklin rolled up, you feel me, he looked at Franklin in the car window. And, you know, he was like, I thought she was gone. And Franklin said to him, yeah, well, I'm back now. And they was like, all right, well, we got to check your car. And then the other dude, the one that I feel like got a little bit of sense, was like, oh, nah. He good. His car clean. So he let Frank through. Now, in that moment, I said to myself, oh, he know exactly what's going on. He know exactly what's going on, and he know exactly what's about to go down. So I say, all right, cool. Let's see how this play out. So he ends up telling this man, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm about to go grab me something to drink. You know, you want to go with me? And he like, miss my chance? And, you know, he asked him straight up, he like, what type of nigga motherfucker screaming ass bitch? Like, he like, everybody up in here? And I'm just like, bro, you weak as fuck. You weak as fuck, bro. Like, not everybody up in here. Really? So, of course, like I said, whole rape scene about to go down. Frank done slid in with Jerome in the trunk. They hop out. Like a whole shootout. You know, they stand on their own. You know, they hold their fucking own. But sometimes it's just never enough. So eventually, you know, they clear the room out. Cause now here's the thing. Franklin thought Kane wasn't even gonna be there. Or he asked somebody when he first got back in the club, and Kane was like, and then he was like, nah, Kane dipped. The girl called him or whatever, paged him or whatever. So he didn't think Kane was gonna be there. So eventually you get this face off with Kane and Jerome. And I'ma be honest. I feel like even though the scene went the way it went, where though Jerome and Kane basically square off, you know, shooting at each other, what's his name, catch one to the chest, he ends up dying, Jerome. But my thing with that is, the way they was basically shooting off on each other and the way Jerome was standing there, I feel like he was sacrificing himself. And in my mind, Jerome sacrificed himself to bring back the family. But are you nuts? Or is Louis gonna take that and think that that's more reason to fucking hate Franklin? You know? She gonna think that this whole thing is Franklin's fault. When let's not forget that you wouldn't even be free had Franklin not called Jerome. So, what are we even talking about here? What are we even talking about? So, listen, y'all. That was Snowfall, season 6, episode 6. This shit's crazy, bro. And I think Kane did too, so at least we get that. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. HighTimez out.